Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast, where we take a few minutes each week to pause, breathe, reflect, and connect about how we can create more peace, more joy, and more calm in our everyday life. I'm your host, Michelle Woerdeman, and I am so grateful you decided to hit play today. What is happening, my friends? Can I just tell you something really funny? Every time I sit down to record a podcast or a meditation, a train goes by, and I don't even live that close to the train. But because it's wintertime, you can hear it as if it's, I swear to God, in my backyard. And it's not in my backyard. But you hear it because all the trees have lost their leaves. And yeah, so I just went to start recording. I'm like, oh, gotta wait for the train to go by. Although at this point, whatever, I don't think it matters. But anywho, I just thought it was funny. But I am not here to talk about trains today. I wanted to talk to you guys about building your emotional toolbox. And especially, around here, and depending on where you live in the world, like the days are a lot colder, they're darker, and the emotions kind of run wild with the holiday seasons. I feel like in our homes, our relationships, because we're often more stressed out and we're going here and we're going there. And yeah, so while I think the holidays bring out kind of like everything all at once, they bring joy, excitement, nostalgia, and they also can create stress, old patterns, dealing with difficult people. I think we all have a few people that, might be a little bit difficult to hang out with. And yeah, difficult emotions. And if you're feeling any of this right now, like, just please know, like, you're not doing anything wrong. Like, you're human. You're feeling everything. This season asks a lot of us, emotionally, mentally, energetically. So today, I want to support you in a really practical, grounded way. I want to help you build something that will carry you not only through this time of year, but frankly, like through the rest of your life, through your own emotional toolbox building. So let's just take a deep breath real quick. We'll settle in and let's begin. I'm going to take a nice sip of my coffee because it's nice and hot. And by the time I'm done, it is not going to be. So, yeah, just take a deep breath. And what is an emotional toolbox? An emotional toolbox is simply a collection of practices that help you regulate, soothe, and realign yourself when emotions start to take over. It's not about avoiding difficult emotions, because what we resist persists. It's not about pretending to be calm and happy all the time. That's just not life. Like, that's not being human. It's about navigating your emotions with skill, compassion, and intention. So just like you wouldn't go fix your kitchen sink, without some tools, and you wouldn't do it with your bare hands. The same is true where you shouldn't expect yourself to handle challenges and difficult emotions without any tools. And the beautiful thing is, your emotional toolbox that we're going to start to create can be completely your own. No one needs to understand it. No one needs to approve it. It just needs to be what works for you. I will share with you some of the tools that I use, some of the tools I teach my clients that they enjoy, and then we can, come up with some ideas, or you can come up with some ideas that really hold true to you. The first one I want to share is the 30-second drop-in. What is that? This is probably one of the simplest and most powerful tools you can use. And when I say simple, it is really simple. You can do it anywhere, anytime. That's why it is one of the, I find, easiest kind of go-tos for me when I just need to chill out, if you know what I mean. So you start by placing a hand or two on your heart, and then just intentionally relax your shoulders. And just pause just for 30 seconds. And by doing this, this instantly sends a signal to your body that you are safe. Because what happens when these difficult emotions arise, it could be from an email, it could be from a text or something somebody said at a party or just said in general. When we start to turn all of that into stories, our body goes into that fight or flight mode. And it thinks that we're not safe. It's like, oh, wait, it always looks for what's wrong. So just by taking this pause, relaxing your shoulders and placing your hands on your heart, it instantly sends a message to your body that you are, in fact, safe at that moment. And I find repeating some affirmations while I do that, whether it's out loud or in your head, can be really powerful. So you can, while your hands are on your heart, tell yourself, like, I am safe right now. Just simply, I am safe right now. I'll give you a few more. Play around with what holds true to you. The next one, this moment is temporary and I can handle it. Another one, I can meet this emotion with compassion. I choose presence over reaction is another good one. It's okay to pause. I love that one. Like giving yourself permission, it's okay to pause. And I don't need to fix anything right this second. So play around with some of those and just see what actually feels most true, whether it's one of them or a couple of them, and do just 30 seconds. And I promise you, you will instantly feel a difference in your body. And when your body calms down, guess what else calms down? Your mind will calm down. Another one is a simple breath reset. And one of the quickest ways to calm your system is to extend your exhale. The exhale is what signals safety to your nervous system. Just like the previous breath, the 30-second drop in. This is another way to send that signal to your nervous system that you are safe. So what you'll want to do is inhale through your nose for the count of 4, then simply hold the top of the inhale just for 1 second. And when you exhale for the count of 6. So that extra few seconds in that exhale is what is going to send that signal to your nervous system that you are safe. And then after you exhale, just pause for 1 second and then repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times. Or, you know what, if you're overwhelmed and this seems like a lot, there's something else you can do that's even simpler. It's called the 3 cleansing sighs. So you inhale halfway, inhale a little bit more, and then exhale a long, audible exhale. Like you can sigh it out and just do that 3 times because both of these help release tension and bring your emotional temperature down quickly. Another tool is an anchoring touch. This tool brings you back into your body when your mind is spinning. So you can press your fingertips together, or you can, and just, take a few seconds and just press your fingertips together. You can hold your opposite arm. You can even hug yourself too. This is the power of anchoring in a touch, or really just press your feet firmly into the ground. Each one of these creates a physical sense of grounding, especially in stressful conversations or over, stimulating moments. So if maybe you're on a Zoom call and whoever's on the other side of that is really creating some difficult emotions for you, you can just simply press your fingertips together and that instantly starts to ground you into your body, and that will help your mind from spinning. And maybe it will help you from not saying something you might not want to. Another one, is just mini meditations. You don't need a long session. You don't need 20 minutes. You don't need 15 minutes. Even 60 to 90 seconds of just closing your eyes, dropping into your shoulders, and taking 3 deep breaths can completely reset your energy. And this works beautifully, at a holiday, gathering or party where maybe, somebody just said something, or you see somebody walk in, you're like, oh, just simply going to the bathroom and just taking a minute and a half, and just closing your eyes and just let your shoulders drop and taking those deep breaths. Maybe it's before walking back into the room, or even just in your car. Again, maybe it's going to the bathroom. This can help completely reset your energy. And one of my favorites is journaling prompts, because I love journaling. But you don't always have to, write pages, and you might not necessarily have, the ability to have a pen and paper handy, but you can also just take out the notes part of your phone. But this will help because writing helps you untangle the emotional knots that you're carrying. So you could write, what emotion is asking for my attention right now? Like, what are you feeling? What's being brought up? Then you could say, what do I truly need in this moment? Do I need to pause? Do I need to leave? What do I need in this moment? And then how do I want to show up today? And again, you don't need a full journaling session for these. You don't need to do all 3, but just the act of writing helps you kind of do this little mini thought download, like get it out of your head so that you can see it and be a witness of what it is that you're feeling. The last one, and this is so, so powerful. You may have heard of it, you may not have, but it is EFT tapping. And what is tapping? So it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, aka tapping. And tapping is a mind-body tool where you gently tap on acupressure points while acknowledging how you feel. It helps lower stress hormones, calm emotional overwhelm, soften reactive patterns. Restores a sense of, that safety in the body. So you don't need to know how and, to do it perfectly, or you don't need to know anything about it. I'm just going to guide you really quickly through the tapping points. I'll also put a link in the show notes for how you can go through the different tapping points and just a little bit about how to do it on your own. And what you do is you use 2 or 3 fingers and tap gently on each point. So you start, and again, I'll guide you through these, but these are the points we're going to use. So the side of the hand, which is also called the karate chop. So if you think about it, where you would chop like a piece of wood, if you were doing karate, that side of the hand is where you start. Then on top of your eyebrow. So then you would tap your eyebrow, then the side of your eye, then under your eye, then under your nose, on your chin, your collarbone, under your arm. And if you're a woman and you wear a bra, it's kind of like where your bra is under your arm, and then the top of your head. And then you take a breath and you do several rounds. So let's do a quick tapping round on emotional holiday support. So the side of your hand, and you always start with an even though, and you bring up your emotion. So even though this moment feels emotionally heavy, I'm honoring how I feel. And you're saying all this while you're tapping on that karate chop point. Even though the holidays bring up a lot for me, I'm open to supporting myself. And one more. Even though I don't feel completely calm, I am safe in this moment and I'm doing the best I can. Now we move to the other points. So tap on your eyebrow. And you can do both eyebrows. You can do one eyebrow. It doesn't matter. And as you tap, think out loud, or think to yourself or say out loud, there's a lot on my mind right now. Keep tapping. Then under the eye, it's okay that I feel stressed or overwhelmed. under the nose. I don't need to push these feelings away while tapping on the chin. I'm learning to support myself in new ways. On the collarbone. It's okay to pause and breathe. Under the arm, I choose compassion for myself. Then on the top of the head, I am safe, I am present, I am here. Then take a deep breath. Then we're going to do one more round. So back to the eyebrow, I'm open to a little more calm. Side of the eye, even if it's just 1% more ease. Under the eye, I'm softening my nervous system. Under the nose, I'm choosing presence. Then on the chin, I'm choosing compassion for myself. And on the collarbone, I'm building my emotional toolbox. Under the arm, I'm learning how to support myself. Top of the head, I am grounded, I am capable, I am safe. And then you take a deep breath. And I'm going to have more of these in videos because I know it's hard if you've never done it to understand maybe what I was going through. But when I tell you that tapping has helped me in so many different situations because it's activating these acupressure points while you're acknowledging and you're bringing to the surface like how you feel. And then as you start to feel better by tapping on these points, you bring in how you want to feel and the emotions that you want to choose. So tapping is incredible. Now, how do you build your own emotional toolbox? Let's talk about that because your nervous system is unique and what works for you might be different from what works for me or what works for somebody else. So start with awareness. Ask yourself, what situations activate me most during the holidays? What emotions come up again and again? Because oftentimes, as humans, we have a tendency to have, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 or maybe 6 or 7, just emotions that we typically feel the most often on a daily basis. So to identify what emotions come up again and again for you and what situations activate, especially during the holidays, that will help you figure out what tools that you'll need. So choosing a tool, 3 categories. You want something in the moment. So whether that is breathing, tapping, just stepping away from the situation or the person, and then grounding phrases. Those are some of the affirmations that I said before, like I am safe, I'm okay in this moment, and figuring out something that you can do in that very present moment. So again, breathing, tapping, stepping away, just grounding phrases, that 30-second pause that I talked about. Then there's preventative tools. So you can journal, realistic expectations too, like be okay with everything not being okay and just have realistic expectations for yourself. And another one I find that is so powerful, and again, this is something that doesn't just pertain to this time of year, is just having a morning routine. Like what's going to set you up for success in the day? And when I say success, I don't mean necessarily getting all the things done on your to-do list. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what's going to set you up for emotional success for the day. And then aftercare tools. Sometimes we're in a situation where we can't necessarily instantly change our energy. So what can you do after the situation is over to care for yourself? Is it a walk? Is it a bath? Is it calling a friend? Is it sound, listening to certain sounds? On YouTube, there are so many different waves that you can put in. Like you can do sound for anxiety, sound for depression, sound for all the things, and all the different frequencies in these different sound resonate differently with different parts of your body. So it's really cool. Or do you just need time alone? Or, just spending a few minutes by yourself, staring out the window if you want. But just, Again, you need something in your toolbox that you can use in the moment, kind of like an SOS, preventative, something you can, if you know you're going to have a difficult, well, not that you know you're going to have a difficult meeting, but if you're going to something that you typically have a trigger that will bring up difficult emotions, do the journaling, have the expectations, start your morning routine, and then what can you do for yourself after these difficult emotions? Do you take a walk? Do you take a bath? Whatever that is. And I want you to write all of these down. Like, even if you just put them in your notes app so it's easy to access, because yes, you can go through these as I'm saying them. You're like, okay, I can do that and I can do this. But then in the moment, it might be hard to access because when our brains are stressed out, sometimes it's really hard to think clearly. So write these down and have them somewhere that you have access to. You only need one or two go-tos just for that moment. But again, just write them down and practice them. Like, emotional regulation is emotional fitness, I like to say. It grows through practice. So the more you can practice how to deal with these difficult emotions, the better and the stronger you'll become at handling them. This is not about them not ever happening because you cannot avoid difficult emotions. They will happen. It is how you deal with them. And the more practice, the better you become. So yeah, you're not meant to move through this season or through life perfectly. You're meant to move through it consciously. Having tools doesn't mean you'll never feel overwhelmed again. It really means you're learning how to care for yourself when emotions rise. You're learning how to show up with more grace, more compassion, more presence. So give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to check in, to use your tools, and most importantly, to create ones that feel like home for you, your home base, your emotional home base. Thank you for being here. If this episode supports you, I hope it did. And, feel free to share it with someone you think might need a little bit of emotional support in their life, especially during this season that can bring a little bit more comfort to them. And until next time, my friends, be gentle with yourself. Cheers. Thank you so much for listening to the Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast. If today's episode inspired you, please share it with a friend or someone who you think could use a little extra calm and joy today. And to stay connected, follow me on Instagram at mbwliving or visit mbwliving.com. And remember, a happy mind truly creates a happy life. Cheers.